Dear friends, welcome to my video. In this video, I will show you how to compute the factorial of a number n using MATLAB function or Stateflow chart. The main objective of this video is to show you how it can be simply done in Stateflow, but I want to progress gradually so as to explain you how do we actually compute factorial. So that's why initially I'll do it in MATLAB function, but the users or the viewers who wants to just see the Stateflow part can skip towards the later part of my video. So let's start. Before I design, before I compute the factorial in MATLAB script, let's understand what does factorial means. So for that I have opened the Wikipedia page of factorial. So it simply says factorial of n is denoted by n exclamation, and it's a product of all the positive integers less than or equal to n, which means factorial of 5 will be 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. Factorial of 3 will be 3 into 2 into 1. Factorial of 7 will be 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So that's it means. So for details on factorial, please go through some of these notes given on internet, on Wikipedia or Google, and you will be able to understand it. So now let's start in MATLAB. So first let me create a MATLAB function. Okay. I don't need two arguments here. I just need one argument because the output will be simply the factorial of the input. I will rename it to as factorial, say for example MATLAB. You can give any name, and I don't need the second input because it will just take the number for which the factorial has to be computed. And yeah, I don't need this second line. Yeah, so after done this, I'll first save this. I think I can just delete these lines for more clarity. Yeah, so now the output should be the factorial of input argument. So for that the MATLAB gives an inbuilt function called I think factorial itself. Yeah, so you can just use factorial command itself to compute a factorial, and it will give you the factorial of n for scalar. So first let's use this example. We'll just use the factorial here. Of course I will we will program it ourselves as well. We'll not use the only the inbuilt function, but just for the sake for the timing I'll just use this, and over here I'll just call our factorial, say for example factorial MATLAB and 4. So factorial of 4 is 24. That's correct. 4 into 3 into 2 into 1, that's 24. So that's 24. That's correct. But here we have used the inbuilt function, so let's now program it ourselves, and let's not use the inbuilt function. So I will just comment out this line so that we can program it ourselves, and let's start. So to program it, let's first have the output argument initialized to 1, and then let's have a for loop equal to 1 to or could be the other way, n to 1, and output argument equal to output argument into I. That's it. I think this should work. So if I call again undefined function, oh yeah, of course it's not n, it's the input argument here which I have to copy paste here. And now if I call it, it says 1. Yeah, so here it's giving 1, and I think the reason for that is probably in this for loop it's not doing the computation as expected, because we are initializing the I with input argument, and by default the for loop increments the counter by 1. So we have to explicitly define that it should be decremented by 1 and reach up to the value of 1. So if you know the syntax, it goes as like the first value to the last value, and the step size is given in between, in middle. So now let's see if it works or not. So if I go here, yeah, bingo, it works. So instead of 4, now I'll give 5, 120. Yeah. So this was as simple as this one. So you have to just do a for loop or some kind of loop, while loop, or you can even do it recursively if you want. uh, and even recursive function is possible. So okay, let me do it recursive very quickly. So I will just do one thing is I'll just comment out this line, and now I'll try to do it recursively. So to do recursively, I think I don't need even this line, and I can just say I know recursive function. From here I am starting recursive function. So what I will do is, let me first make it a little bigger. I will check whether input argument is greater than equal to 2 or not. If input argument is less than 2, then return 2. No, I mean, of course it's not a C program. But equal to 2, and then return, and then end. Else, if that is not true, then what we can do is we can equal to output argument. We can say not output argument, it's input argument into factorial MATLAB input argument minus 1. Yeah, I think this should be fine. Oh no, we should put less than equal to. Yeah. Yeah, perfect. So if you see, now also it's working perfectly fine. So if I go for factorial of 3, it's 6. So this is the recursive format. So here I have shown on the top of this function, over here I have shown how to do it in using for loop. Over here I have shown how to do it using recursive. And of course you can directly use this factorial command also from the MATLAB. Okay. So this is how you can do it using MATLAB function using various forms. Now let's do it Stateflow, which was the main objective of my this video. So I'll keep this function as it is and open a new model. I select a blank model template. I first save it. I will just save it, say factorial underscore flow. Yeah. So to start with, first I of course need a chart, and right now this chart does not have any input or output. So let's first okay, so we can do it two ways. Either we define some workspace variable and take the value of n from there, but what I will prefer is I would like to have it as an input to this chart and like to have the factorial out as an output to this chart. So for that I will have to define few input variables and output variables. So first let me define an input variable, data input from Simlink, and let me name it as n, because yeah. And then second will be my output to Simulink, and let me have it as y. And also I will need a local variable to do the computation. So I will just make a local data and I will keep it as data. Okay, so before I proceed, let me go back here. So now I have got an input and output. So as at an input I will put a constant block, and I will give the value 5. Say for example, let's first compute the factorial of 5 here, and let's take the output. Either you can do 2 workspace or display block. Let me do display block. Display, yeah. So this should give me the final value output, or even you can use a scope for this. Sometimes I use a scope. Yeah. So now let's start in the chart. So first we will have our default transition. Yeah. And no. And what we can do is probably we can just expand it a little bit. Yeah. And here what we can do is, so in terms of concept, we'll use the same concept what we use in our code here, that we first initialize, especially with this iteration part we'll do. Initially we'll initialize the output as 1 and then do it in iteration form. So that's the reason why I first went to the MATLAB function, because it's sometimes easy to understand the code, and then we can come to the chart. Yeah. So in chart, what we can do is probably we can first okay, let me do one more thing. Let me have one more. Yeah, we don't okay, so first let me assign it a value. Here is, as I told, we will assign the value y equal to 1, and yeah, and of course the local data, the value of n, which is coming as an input. So once these two are done, so now in the next step what we have to do is we have to again yeah, so y will be equal to y into data, and data should be equal to, we have to keep reducing the data in each iteration, and this should continue, this loop should continue until the data is greater than 1. Yeah, because once it reaches 1, then there is no point of doing it, and of course then we have to put another for exit. Yeah, so I think this should be fine. Let's simulate and see what happens. So our input is 5 to this, and output is I'm simulating it. Yeah, see, we got 120. Perfect. So as expected, the factorial of 5 is 120. So what is happening here is, if I explain it again, this part is simple stateflow chart. The value of I as an input to n comes, it is assigned to the local variable data, and we initialize the output as 1 here. In the second step, it goes and multiply the y by data, so 1 into 5 will be equal to 5, and data gets reduced, so data becomes 4. In the next cycle, it checks whether data is greater than 1, and as long as it's greater than 1, it comes back here, it goes here, because this is the only route available and there is no condition, so it has to always do this action. So once this action is done, so as long as this is true, which is like first was 5, then it will be 4, 3, 2. The moment it comes 1 here, so data is no more greater than 1, so it will come to the second, it will end and it will exit, and the value of y will be given as an output over here, which is 120. We can change this value and quickly see whether it holds true for other values or not. And 6. So that's, yeah, so that's a simple Stateflow chart which you can design to compute the factorial in the model. So if you are designing in a model and if you need the factorial, you can either do simply by quickly doing this Stateflow chart. You can write a MATLAB function and call that MATLAB function from the MATLAB function block in Simulink or from your model. These are some of the quick way. In my next video, I will also show you how to do this factorial design in the Simulink model, purely in Simulink model, not Stateflow, using the Simulink basic blocks. I'll show you, although it's not recommended, because the best way to do this kind of factorial programming is using some kind of Stateflow, which is very easy to do. But just for like understanding how a simple Stateflow chart although can be implemented in simulating model, but it's really tough and it's really complicated. That I'll cover in my next video, so please do watch my next video. But for the time being, in this video I think I'll just close it here, because the main objective of this video was to show you how to quickly design this Stateflow chart for the Factorial. I hope this video was useful to you. Please put in the comment section if you have any questions or if you have any comments regarding this video. And if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you and have a nice day. Bye.